This is our first webinar on making tax digital. I'm Derek Williamson of Goddards Accountants, and I am also the author of Simple Stuff That Works. I'm a forensic accountant with some 40 years experience, and our practice is totally cloud-based. Before we start the lecture, if I can just remind any of you that are interested, we have produced a book called Going for Growth. If you haven't actually got a copy, please give us a shout. We will provide you with a copy. And on the 1st of April, our new book, Key Performance Indicators, will also be launched, and that is going to be very useful for anybody who's complying with making tax digital. So, what do you need to do? Well, there are two phases. Phase number one is if you are VAT registered. And phase number two is if you are a limited company. There is a phase three for sole traders, but at the moment that's up in the air and there's no fixed date. So if you are already VAT registered, you will need to register on the new HMRC portal for VAT. It sounds daft because people will be saying, but I'm already registered. Yes, you are registered on the old portal. So you need to go into the HMRC website, type in Making Tax Digital, and it will then give you the option to go in and set up your own portal. If your accountant's doing everything for you, you won't need to worry. He hopefully will have already gone on and registered you on the appropriate portal. But that is the first thing to do. If you haven't done that, you will not be able to register, to file your accounts. Second thing you need to do is to ensure that your accounting software is Making Tax Digital compliant. So, are you using QuickBooks Xero, Sage Online, FreeAgent, Cashflow, or ClearBox? They're the major products that are MTD compliant. If you're using an Excel spreadsheet, you will have to go and buy a specialist package that will enable that data to be submitted to HMRC. If you don't have it, you've got a problem. You will be able to continue to file under the old portal, but the problem is you will be paying a penalty. And I would question whether you want to be paying any penalties. So I would suggest that from your point of view, make sure that you are compliant by the 1st of April. One small point that you need to also bear in mind is that from the 1st of April, your data must be daily inputted. Now, clearly, if you're getting a bill from a customer, you input that, not a problem. You can't input a statement anymore on the basis that, well, all the bills are on that statement. Each of those bills must be inputted. If you're running a retail business and you have a till, those daily totals must also be inputted into the appropriate software. You cannot add them up and put in a weekly or a monthly total. That will be an offence after 1st of April. And again, whilst initially you might not get a penalty, the revenue will subsequently start to penalise people if they do not comply. You've probably noticed the QuickBooks adverts, either with the person going down the escalator or the latest one with the person doing tattoos. Very important, but what they're missing, and in fact Xero are missing on their adverts, is the fact that their software is MTD compliant, and you have got to have MTD compliant software. So, you might say, well, I'm not VAT registered, so I don't need to bother. Well, you do, because you've still got to register on the HMRC MTD portal if you are a limited company, because as of 1st of April 2019, it will be possible to file quarterly accounts with HMRC. The revenue are encouraging this because this will ensure that the software they're using works effectively. No payments will be required against these tax computations. And we believe that everybody should start preparing quarterly accounts as though filing with HMRC, even if they are not filing them. Because by preparing those quarterly accounts, you'll get to know whether you need to make provisions for quarterly adjustments to reduce the filed tax. So question here is yours a seasonal business? If it is, the last thing you want to do is be doing a return, or shall we say £100,000 profit in the first quarter, and at some future date being asked to pay that tax, and then having the second quarter with the tax loss but not being able to claw it back, and the third quarter with a loss and not being able to claw it back, and the fourth quarter with a loss, which again you can't claw back. So it is very important that you look at this and educate yourself and train yourself to produce quarterly accounts. If you're not doing it, make certain that your accountant is. Also make sure that he is benchmarking your business, because come April 2020, HMRC will be benchmarking every business. You want to know what they think about your business before they see those figures, so that you can then decide whether it needs any appropriate adjustments. You also need to be bearing in mind that the most effective way to run your business is through key performance indicators. And this is why we've written this new book, which, as I say, will be available on Amazon on the 1st of April and thereafter. And this is because if you can pick 5 or 6 key performance indicators and monitor those on a monthly basis, you don't need to worry about the bottom line. You will be making profits, and that's all that really matters. We will be doing a selection of webinars on making tax digital. Right now, our main concern is going to be on getting you VAT registered if you are, getting you using the new portal if you're VAT registered. If you're not, you have an extra year to not worry. But we will be covering this in our Making Tax Digital webinars 2, 3, and 4. So, any questions? Right, well, if you haven't got any questions, or if you've got questions you want to ask privately, phone us on 020-8941-2187 or email us on derek@goddardsaccountants.co.uk. Thank you for listening.